Wow, you're going to find out. But before we do that, let me begin. We're going to come back to the top news headline. I hope we are.
Yeah.
You see this right here, ladies and gentlemen? All right. I said that on January 6th, the Supreme Court was going to convene a panel, and they have an opportunity to do the right thing. And it was led by, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
This guy right here. In this case, his name is Chief Justice Roberts, and others who might also be guilty of the same crap. Okay? The Honorable John G. Roberts Jr., right, should have recused himself. Here's a certiorari, right? Attorney Lynn Wood filed this as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Lynn Wood has some stuff. He did. I know for a fact he did because I know what's going on.
Well,
I know what's happening.
And the whistleblower that he put on blast was very believable.
Very believable. Not only very believable, but Evan Newman has corroborated everything that's in here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that is, and by the way, I have multiple sources. We got Lynn Wood. We have my source, the Grim Reaper, right?
Mm.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
You know who I'm talking about?
I do. Yep.
Say Grim Reaper.
I know.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now Evan Newman. Evan Newman was a January 6th protester, right? And he was there. There's a good reason for it. Because he's working for the CIA and the FBI. And then they wanted to bring an indictment. The FBI showed up when he was at the airport. And not just questioning him, they actually threatened him. And they said, incarceration is going to be the least of your worries. Keep your freaking mouth shut. And I know the FBI does this because they've done it to people we know, threatening them with obstruction of justice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Evan Newman is a little bit different. The FBI set out to threaten him, okay? They threatened him with his life. And then he was let go. How many January 6th defendants or people that show up on the FBI's most wanted list get let go at the airport? How many? How many of them do you know of?
I would say none.
Is that odd? Right?
It is.
So it has to do with the Supreme Court being corrupt. You know why? Because Chief Justice Roberts has basically evidence that's in the possession of the CIA OIG, over 300 websites, child porn websites. Okay? Wow. And a single justice in a case has a conflict of interest or has bias, appealed decision, right? All right, here it is. Public statements. Such blackmail. Here it is. An application here against the Chief Justice. Attached to the application, directed to Chief Justice Roberts, also a circuit judge for the Fourth Circuit of the U.S. Court of Appeals. Just the very justice petitioner wanted to file an application directly, kindly asking that he recuse himself for this entire newly filed cert. He does not need to be involved with or associated with any decisions or any work dealing with the foregoing cert. Okay, here it is. A hacking group obtained videos of a blackmail scheme involving Chief Justice Roberts. All right. Chief Justice Roberts has 300 plus child porn websites that he visits. And we thought that it was because he was a pedo. It probably is, you know. But the child porn websites that Norm Pattis exposed, right? This is in the court record, by the way, DOJ. Take good notes. The child porn websites are used for the secret shadow government to communicate. We have evidence of it. And some of that evidence is acknowledged to be in the possession of the CIA OIG, right? Copies are, let's put it this way, DOJ. Copies are everywhere, okay? We're just waiting for you to screw up. haven't seen those copies, but they're everywhere. All right? Mike Lindell had a copy of them. Didn't he? Why'd you try to destroy Mike Lindell? I wonder. Why are you trying to destroy Norman Pattis? I wonder. Why did you try to destroy Pete Santilli? Oh, no. Your best days are yet to come there. Woohoo. Huh? DOJ. FBI. CIA. You know what we need to do? A drone strike on the Department of Acronyms.
So
Is what we need.
exactly what is their issue with Norm Pattis, if you can tell us all real quick?
Yes, I can. You ready? All right.
IG.
If you could, all right. Let's make a choice here. You ready? Let's be froggy. The Brunson case. They had a chance to do what was right. That chance was actually taken by the one person. Here he is. You ready? A Supreme Court case right here, right? That outlines exactly who Chief Justice Roberts is. He was in the room. If you were given the opportunity to have 400 tons of man pads or the Ghost Reaper, what would you take? Come on.
I'm going with the Ghost Reaper. I don't even need to think about that because I know everything he's got.
Ladies and gentlemen, you want to now, George, come back up here. Come here. Come up front. So you said people want to know about the Brunson case. We were just waiting, okay? Because you want to give your adversary the opportunity to do the right thing, right? We knew what they were going to do. We knew what we had on the other side. We had to be a peaceful people of due process and get them to just do the right thing and come clean. And what did they choose? So the people that want to hear about the Brunson case and talk about the Brunson case and talk about Ray Epps and Brunson and Supreme. Now you know what's coming on the other side of this thing. The fourth branch of government has been activated, and it is happening right here, right now. Are we going to talk about Evan Newman? And Evan Newman, who is an expert on Ukrainian color revolutions and getting his marching orders from online, right, at the top level on child porn servers run by the FBI, was doing what on January 6th? Sergei Dubinin, right? All this money laundering, all this stuff that's going on, they're moving money. Ukraine is a piggy bank. We've got evidence of it. We got FTX. We got, of course, Rudy Giuliani's investigation into Joe Biden's money laundering, all right? And we also have...
tell them about the facial recognition that identifies that whole front line.
That's right.
The Fedsurrection. Tell them about that.
There are right now, there are people internally that have been in fear of their lives, but they have absolute evidence, and they're blown the... And by the way, this has to go through the attorneys because we don't want anybody violating, their confidentiality agreements, their NDAs, because that's how they get you. We're not going to make any missteps. So there are people internally that have had this information all along. For instance, Norm Pattis was in direct communication with people in that regard, and all of a sudden he loses his bar license. Isn't that miraculous how that happens? That's not going to stop.
Amazing how they jump in and just snatch the license when the guy's going to bring absolute truth to the courtroom. Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, and I don't care if you're a leftist or right, I don't care where you are on the political spectrum, all right? This is what I'm going to tell you, is that the entire thing that, like, if you say, oh, these are insurrectionists, oh my God, guess what? The people that you saw on camera that got you charged up and they told you were insurrectionists, all the people at the front line, the majority of them, were all feds.
We're feds. We're militia brought in from other countries.
Yeah.
And we're special agents at different government agencies. And that was almost... At one point, you told me, Pete, that the facial recognition proved that almost that entire front line
took them out at the knees, right?
Government
from
plants.
That's correct.
Agitated the crowds to cause the Fedsurrection.
And guess, the Department of Acronyms has given them this handlers basically unarrestable. His name is Evan Newman. 3-letter acronym title, where he can just about do anything. And of course, Newman was working with him. And this is how this guy came. Go look at the one man.
You need to explain the special mission units
he's on
to
body
the
cam.
public,
They said he punched
those
a
are
cop.
tier 1 special mission units that you have to realize there's only a handful of tier 1 operators in the entire world. And then what happens is in those tier 1 groups,
they ended up with indictments.
The SMU is even more.
How many of them do you know?
Those special mission units, it's a term that's used a lot, particularly in the United States, to describe highly secretive military special operation forces. This is not something the way they hear about it. Like most people don't even, they've never heard of the group. In the U.S. Army and JSOC, which is the ghosts. Once the indictment's issued, very elite unit, that's SMU. Never. And the SMU, there are what we figured out cases where this cop cooperates, but usually it's a 5K. This top tier communication that they're using for these military units is when Pete is discussing the porn servers.
Let's pick on the lefties.
The dead mail drops.
Really
that's how they're communicating, and that's also how they're pinning these people down. So remember, there's only 5 tier 1 units in special forces in the entire country.
Let them go.
And then those SMU units are selected, hand-selected out of those units. They're the best of the best.
If you're on the left side of the spectrum, you're really caught up in this whole insurrection thing. And they let an insurrectionist go. And now he's in Belarus. This information was put out. And you can see, like, oh, man, yeah, but you don't know if the possibility. I said, no, hold on a second. Stop. Pause. We got a trial that's going on right now, right? And we got an attorney. And his name is Norm Pattis, right? And here we are at the Proud Boys trial. And Pete Santilli, right, because they have to provide discovery, right? They have to provide all of the 302 reports. They need to provide, and as a matter of fact, right before, I think it was last Friday, there was a miraculous dump, and guess what it was? The tip line. The tip line was just recently dumped. All these tips to come in from everywhere, and then indexed to show what was done and who followed up, and it was buried. And they did it right on the eve of trial. Why? Because terabytes of information is hard to go through on the day before jury selection or, a day before opening arguments. And guess what tip was in those tip lines, right? Right here.
Tell me, what was it?
Oh, here it is. Pete Santilli calling in.
Information. However, the lack of information may delay or hurt our ability to investigate.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah. P is in Papa.
Know him to look like, and actually he's seen on video taking fences down where it says, do not cross or whatever. So I have this video.
And by the way, everybody was running around with the super expensive Carhartt fireproof, jackets. January 6th.
Yeah. I guarantee if you'd frisked him, you would have found some secure comms, maybe encrypted Hillary Clinton Blackberries or something else. What? And I guarantee that if you really patted him down, he probably had multiple weapons on him. There's no doubt about it. If he's SMU, he's packed.
Hold on, stand by. We got notification right now. What we got? Do we got deep staters, deep state trolls in? We got them dropping in. Oh, weak. You're whacked, you scumbag, okay? Listen, you John Brennan, FBI, get rid of the Slayer, you little bitch. You can't take us down. You are going to get whacked, you online covert investigators. We love you, and we got the ability to whack you. But here's my point. Fireproof Carhartt, right? This guy right here. And by the way, it went to the tip line, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's miraculous? Hey, listen to this, DOJ. Listen to this, FBI. We've been waiting for that job. We've been waiting to track this guy. And we've been waiting to call our next witness to the stand, Evan Newman, who worked with him, who got his marching orders about the Ukrainians he brought with him, who was working directly with Daniel P. Love, who also frequents FBI servers